When I had an argument with my childhood friend Leo, I never expected what would happen next. In a flash of anger, he slapped me across the face in front of our entire class. That same day, I deleted every trace of him from my phone. Everyone who knew us was shocked. After all, I had grown up with Leo. I had loved him since I was a little girl, following him around for 9 years. Mia, just because of one slap? Someone asked, confused. Yes, I replied firmly, just because of that slap. When Leo's hand hit my cheek, I was too stunned to do anything at first. The sharp sound echoed in the quiet classroom, and I stumbled backward. My head was ringing, and my left cheek went from numb to burning hot in an instant. I raised a shaky hand to my face, staring at him in disbelief. My childhood best friend had just hit me, and he'd done it in public. It all started over a silly argument involving the new transfer student. Leo must have realized what he'd done because his expression froze for a second, but it quickly hardened into a look of cold anger and frustration. Can you stop making a scene, Mia? Go back to your seat, he said sharply. A few of our classmates snickered. Most just stayed silent, watching the drama unfold. Beside Leo, Khloe, the new girl, twirled a strand of her brown hair and clicked her tongue mockingly. Oh, Leo, what are you doing? Your little princess is about to cry. Leo's voice got even colder. Mia, if you're going to cry, go home and do it. This is school, not your personal stage. Shame, hurt, and anger swirled inside me. Fat tears rolled down my cheeks. I could hear a few of the boys laughing. Without thinking, I turned and ran out of the classroom. I had no idea where I was going, only that I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stand to see their faces. Leo had never been particularly gentle with me, but he had never ever hit me before. This was the first time anyone had ever slapped me. Leo and I had known each other since we were 3. Our families were close friends and lived in apartments right across the hall from each other. I had liked Leo for as long as I could remember. Back in elementary school, I was often picked on by the boys. One of them was especially mean. He would pull my hair, put gum on my chair, and even put firecrackers in my desk. I went to the teacher in tears, but she just scolded him briefly and then told me with a smile that he probably did it because he liked me. I didn't believe her, and the bullying didn't stop. When I told my parents, they were furious and were about to go to the school to complain. But Leo's father, who happened to be visiting, stepped in. He called Leo over and told him to look out for me from then on. Even though we were the same age, we were in different classes. But the next day during recess, Leo came to my classroom, dragged the bully out, and beat him up. Leo had always been tall and strong, and he easily took down the boy and his friends. Before he left, he warned everyone, whoever dares to bully Mia again, just wait and see. That was the moment I fell for him. From then on, I followed him everywhere. I was his little shadow. Leo didn't like me tagging along. He thought it was unmanly to be seen with a girl who cried easily and always wore pink. But I was persistent. I kept chasing after him, calling him Leo every chance I got. After a few years, he started to soften. His eyes would linger on me, and sometimes when we made eye contact, he would freeze up, stutter, or blush before quickly changing the subject. One day, Leo's father joked that since we were so close, they might as well arrange a childhood engagement. Leo didn't say anything, but he held my hand tightly, and I noticed his ears were red. I felt a warmth spread through me and said loudly, "Okay, I want to marry Leo." Everything seemed perfect until high school. In our first semester, a new student named Khloe joined our class. People said her family had moved for her parents' jobs. She had great grades and a bright smile. On her first day, she walked in with her shiny brown curls and announced to the teacher, "My hair is naturally curly." Then she looked around the classroom. When her eyes landed on me, she paused and then burst out laughing. "Oh my God," she said. "Is that a Barbie princess? What's with all the pink?" I froze in my seat. She laughed even louder. "You're in high school, right? What's with all the cutesy pink stuff? It's so embarrassing." Everyone looked at me. My cheeks burned with shame. Yes, I liked pink. Everything I owned was pink. My backpack, my cup, my hair clips, my phone case. Pink made me feel safe. It reminded me of the childhood I spent with Leo. But that day, under Chloe's mocking gaze and the silent judgment of the class, I had never felt so small. Ha ha ha, sorry, Khloe said. I tend to speak my mind. Don't get mad, little princess. She even winked as if it was all a joke. Just then, a voice cut in. Enough! It was Leo. He was frowning at Khloe, clearly annoyed. Khloe raised an eyebrow. Oh, the princess's knight in shining armor has arrived. What are you even talking about? Are you crazy? Leo snapped, slamming his hand on his desk. The teacher scolded him and told him to sit down. Then, the teacher assigned Khloe to the only empty seat in the room, which happened to be right in front of Leo. And just like that, they became desk partners. I don't know exactly when they started getting closer, it just happened. One morning, the strawberry milk that Leo's father usually had him bring for me was replaced with plain milk. I hated plain milk. Didn't he know that? Leo noticed my expression and patted my head. Come on, it's just milk. The strawberry one comes in a pink box, and that's not really suitable for your age. Plain milk is healthier. Khloe, who was also holding a carton of plain milk, turned around and gave me a sheepish smile. Sorry, little pink. I like plain milk, so I asked Leo to get it for me. Strawberry milk is way too sweet. It's kind of gross. I frowned at her. Do you like giving people nicknames? She looked surprised, then gave a helpless laugh. Wow, why so serious? I was just joking. You're way too sensitive. Mia, Leo said, stepping in. Khloe doesn't always think before she speaks. Don't take it to heart. My eyes stung with tears. I pushed Leo away. If you can't speak nicely, I snapped at Khloe, then just don't speak at all. Leo looked shocked, then quickly put his arms around me. Okay, I was wrong. Don't be mad. I'll bring you strawberry milk tomorrow, I promise. Khloe's expression soured as she glared at me. From that day on, Khloe started targeting me more openly. When I took out pink tissues, she'd exclaim, Wow, even your tissues are pink. Are you trying to become a Barbie doll? During cleaning time, when I used a wet wipe to clean a broom handle, she'd wink at the boys and say, Here comes the princess with her royal habits. Each time she said something, a group of boys who were friends with her would laugh along. At first, Leo seemed uncomfortable and would try to quiet her down, but Khloe would just brush it off. I'm just joking around, she'd say. Mia is too uptight. I'm helping her learn to take a joke. Leo started to nod along. Well, Mia does act a bit like a princess, I guess. Hey, don't lump me in with them, Khloe would say, playfully punching his shoulder. I'm not like that. Leo would smile, and I would feel a knot of jealousy in my stomach. I had always known that Leo saw me as delicate and emotional, but hearing him agree with Khloe hurt. I couldn't take it anymore. That summer, I went to the beach with my parents and got a tan. When school started again, I wore a light pink shirt. Khloe spotted it immediately. Oh my gosh, Mia, you're so dark now, and you're still wearing pink? You look like a little black dog. She and a few boys laughed. Leo, standing nearby, seemed to find it funny too. I saw him smile. In that moment, something inside me snapped. I picked up my water bottle and threw its contents right in Khloe's face. She froze, then started frantically wiping at her smudged makeup. What are you doing? Are you crazy? She shouted. I mimicked her tone. You wear makeup to school? No wonder you're not a princess. You're just here to get attention, aren't you? A few boys stepped in to stop me. Leo was at the front. He took the water bottle from my hand and said sternly, Mia, apologize. His tone was cold. My eyes were red, but I met his gaze. Didn't you hear what she called me? That's one thing, Leo said calmly. But you threw water on her. That was going too far. You need to own up to what you did. Be good. Don't be so petty. I gave a cold laugh. Apologize? No way. His eyes widened, and then he slapped me, hard. I skipped the rest of my classes and went straight home. I stormed into my room and started pulling everything out of my drawers and closets. I found a big cardboard box and threw in everything Leo had ever given me. When the box was full, I carried it downstairs and dumped it in the building's trash can. My parents weren't home yet, so I called my mother. Mom, I said coldly, when you get home, please tell Leo's parents that I'm breaking up with him. He's not allowed in our house anymore. Tell him to stay away from me. When my mom got home and saw the red mark on my face, her expression turned from concern to fury. I told her everything that had been happening. Her fists clenched as she listened. Without a word, she went across the hall and confronted Leo's parents. I don't know what was said, but our family's long friendship fractured that day. My mother didn't blame me. Instead, she looked at me gently and said, "Our Mia will not be bullied by anyone. Whatever you choose, your father and I will stand by you." At that, the sadness I had been holding in finally spilled over, and I cried in her arms. That evening, Leo came home. He must have seen the box in the trash because he started banging on our door. "Mia, come out. Let's talk." I opened the door. His face was like ice. "Why did you throw away everything I gave you?" "That's none of your business," I said flatly. The slap from that morning was still fresh, and my cheek was swollen and bruised, the marks of his fingers clearly visible. Leo's expression shifted as he stared at the bruise. After a long pause, he murmured, How could it be this serious?" He reached out to touch my face, but I stepped back. In the past, I would have cried to him over a small scratch, wanting his comfort. He used to say I was fragile, but I knew he liked feeling needed. Not anymore. He looked completely lost. "I didn't mean it, Mia. You were cursing, and I just lost my temper." "Since you're here," I cut him off, "let's be clear. From now on, we're strangers. If you see me at school, don't speak to me, and don't come knocking on my door again." I turned to close the door, but he grabbed my hand. His gaze was fixed on me, his emotions shifting from regret to anger. "Is this really necessary, Mia? If this is about the slap, I'll apologize. But don't you think you're overreacting? What if you regret this?" "I won't regret it." "Why? Just because of one slap?" "Yes," I said firmly. "Because of that slap." He laughed bitterly. "Fine. If that's what you want, so be it." He slammed the door and left. The next day, Leo and Khloe publicly announced they were dating. I wasn't surprised. The signs had been there all along. When Khloe first arrived, she made it clear she preferred hanging out with boys, claiming girls were too gossipy and sensitive. The truth was, she isolated herself and then played the victim when the other girls didn't include her. I complained about it to my parents once, and Leo, who was visiting, overheard. He got cold and told us it wasn't nice to talk about people behind their backs. Later, I found out he and Khloe had already become close. She helped him with his English homework, a job that used to be mine, and joined his group of friends through basketball. In his eyes, she went from being a blunt, mocking girl to a warm, straightforward one. I had told myself they were just friends, that he liked me. I had clearly overestimated myself. "We're in a serious relationship," Khloe announced one day, sitting on Leo's lap in class. "Not like some people who cling to others and throw themselves at them." She glanced at me. "By the way, I hope no one reports our relationship to the teacher. That would be really low." Some classmates congratulated them. Others looked at me to see my reaction. My desk mate looked at me with concern, but I just kept my head down, pretending to read. The air grew awkward. Leo let out a cold snort and looked away from me. After that, they were inseparable. She would playfully wrap her hair tie around his wrist. They passed notes in class. She would steal food from his lunch, and he would just smile. After school, she would ride on the back of his bike, her arms around his waist. It hurt at first, but I learned to live with it. Just when I thought we were done interacting, Leo stopped me at the school gate one day. "Mia," he said, his expression unreadable. "Khloe took a sick day today." "So what?" I asked, confused. "What did you say to her?" He frowned. I was stunned. I've never even talked to her. Seeing her annoys me. Why would I talk to her? His eyes were full of suspicion. "She was fine last night, but this morning she called in sick. I called her, and all she did was cry and say she was sorry and begged me to tell you not to be angry." "What did you say to her? Did you hit her?" "Are you crazy?" I tried to push past him, but he grabbed my wrist. "Mia," he said intensely, "I know you're upset about our relationship, but this is going too far." He looked like he wanted to say more, but hesitated. Finally, he said in a low voice, "As long as you apologize to me, we can pretend nothing ever happened. Things can go back to the way they were." I had had enough. "Are you out of your mind? Let go of me. I did nothing wrong. You two can date all you want. Have 10 kids for all I care. Just leave me out of it." His face darkened, but he wouldn't let go. Just then, another hand rested on his arm. A calm voice said, "It's not right to treat a girl like this." I turned and saw a boy in our school uniform. "Ethan," I said, surprised. Ethan was a senior. We had been on the school's math team together once, but we weren't close. Seeing my confusion, he gave me a playful wink, then twisted Leo's arm just enough to make him wince. I yanked my hand free and ran. During PE a few days later, I started to feel unwell. We were running laps and my vision started to blur. My blood sugar had dropped. My knees buckled and I fell. Footsteps rushed toward me and a strong hand helped me up. It was Leo. "Your blood sugar dropped again, didn't it?" he fussed. "Did you skip your meals? Why are you forcing yourself to run? I'll take you to the infirmary." Irritated by the fall and the stairs, I pulled my arm back. "Don't touch me. I can walk on my own." "Is this really the time to hold a grudge?" he growled. "I'll take you and leave right after. That should make you happy, right?" I laughed sarcastically. "Low blood sugar isn't life-threatening. I just need to sit down for a bit. I'm not dying." "Do you really have to be so ungrateful?" he hissed. He let go of me forcefully and stormed off. When I got to the infirmary, it was quiet except for one other student. It was Ethan. His eyes lit up when he saw me. "Hi, Mia. What a coincidence." I nodded quietly and then noticed his leg. Thick, blood-soaked gauze was wrapped around his knee. "Oh, this," he said, scratching his head. "I tripped during basketball practice. It's just a scratch." "What about you?" I remembered he was the basketball captain. "I'm fine, just low blood sugar. You should rest." Over the next few days, we kept running into each other in the infirmary. We started talking and became familiar. Ethan was cheerful, gentle, and easy to be around. One day, he looked at me with an embarrassed smile. "Mia, I think our friendship could go a bit further. What do you think?" I was caught off guard and tried to turn him down, but he was persistent. He started finding me during every break, bringing me candy or my favorite milk. Soon, rumors spread that Ethan, the senior, was dating me. I denied it, but no one believed me. The girl behind me whispered, "Hey, does Ethan really have 8-pack abs?" I blinked. How would I know that? "A senior on his team said he does," my deskmate nudged me. "You're his girlfriend. You must have seen it, right?" I paused. It was true he never lifted his shirt during games, but I did have a vague memory of him doing it in the hot infirmary. "I think he does," I muttered, "but he's pretty slim. I haven't actually touched them." The girl behind me squealed. "Oh my God, you're so lucky." "Shut up," I blurted, flustered. "I've only seen them a few times." I reached back to cover her mouth. At that moment, a sharp crash echoed through the classroom. We all turned. Leo had broken a cup. His face was pale. As he bent down to pick up the shards, Khloe gasped, "Leo, your hand!" Blood was running down his finger. He just stared at it, dazed. "Leo, I have tissues, let me wrap it up," Khloe said, but he pulled away. He walked straight toward me, blood dripping on the floor. He looked into my eyes and said quietly, "I'm hurt, Mia. Do you have a Band-Aid?" I stared at him. Of course I had one. I always did, and he knew it. I used to carry them for him when we were younger, and he was always getting into fights for me. Once, he'd been pushed through a glass window and his arms were covered in cuts. I cried so hard seeing him in pain. From that day on, I always carried Band-Aids. He used to tease me about my Hello Kitty ones, but I could see the smile in his eyes. He liked it. But after Khloe arrived, she mocked me for them, calling them childish. Leo had listened to her and smiled faintly. Pulled from my memories, I looked at him and gently shook my head. "I won't give you a Band-Aid," I said. "Not anymore." He didn't look surprised. His face went even paler and he laughed bitterly. "I see." After school, Khloe was waiting for me. "Let's talk," she said, her face serious. "I really don't get it. What is it about you that makes him miss you so much?" I almost laughed. "Just say what you want to say." Her expression darkened. "You must be proud of yourself. Even though he's with me, he still has feelings for you. He was devastated when he saw you with another guy. He accidentally slapped you once, and you abandoned your childhood sweetheart over it. You're selfish and cold." I listened quietly, then replied calmly, You don't need to test me. I won't take him back. She froze. I gave her a small smile. It must be humiliating having your boyfriend use you to test the feelings of his ex-best friend, but don't worry, I meant what I said. We're strangers. I never pick up what I've already thrown away. Go back and tell Leo to stay away from me. The farther, the better. That evening, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Leo. Wait, listen to me, he said before I could hang up. His voice was hoarse. I read your diary. My mind went blank. He must be talking about the diary I threw away, the one he gave me when I was 10. It held all the memories of my love for him. I picked it up that day, he said, his voice shaking. I'm sorry, Mia. I read it. I didn't know you liked me that much. I really regret hitting you. What day did you pick it up? I interrupted. He fell silent. It's been days, hasn't it? I said with a faint smile. Why are you only calling me now? Did you just open it today? Is it because you're feeling insecure now, so you decided to finally read it? Mia, it's not like that. Leo, I cut in. An apology that comes too late doesn't fix anything. That diary means nothing now. You should throw it away. Don't call me again. I hung up. A week later was my birthday. My parents planned a party and had me invite my classmates. I invited everyone, including Leo and Khloe. He came in a suit with her on his arm. I didn't greet them. After a while, I stepped out onto the terrace for some air. I heard his footsteps behind me. Mia, he said softly, can we talk? I turned. Sure, but I hope this is the last time. He gave a bitter laugh. Do we really have to end like this? Even if I beg you, will you really not forgive me? I looked away. I just don't get it, he said. You've always liked me, haven't you? And you know I liked you too. We were just one confession away. Why are you treating me like this now? Is it really just because of that slap? I still nodded. Yes, just because of that slap. But I had heard the truth that day. It wasn't just a moment of anger. It had been planned. The day before it happened, I had followed him and his friends to a restaurant. She's been following you for 9 years, one of them joked. Do you even like her? My heart clenched as I listened from a distance. Leo chuckled. I do like her, but I don't want to date her. She's too delicate, too much trouble. Aren't you worried she'll give up? No way, Leo said. Girls like her, once they fall for someone, they cling on forever. That's when Khloe's voice rang out. Yeah, I know that type. I bet even if you slap her in public and apologize, she'll still forgive you. Why don't you try it, Leo? In that noisy restaurant, Leo's voice was clear. All right then, let's try it. Back in the present, on the terrace, his hands trembled. Mia, listen to me. I just said those things to impress them. I didn't mean it. I stared at him. You always told me it was wrong to talk about others behind their backs. So tell me, Leo, how are you any better? The color drained from his face. I sighed, no longer feeling angry, just a cold emptiness. I know you liked me, but you were unsure. You thought Khloe was great, too. You liked her enough to want to impress her. That's normal. You see me as pretty, but also fragile and clingy. You'll always be drawn to girls like Khloe, but you shouldn't have stepped on me to make yourself look better. How dare you slap me? Who do you think you are? He looked lost, devastated. Finally, he asked, dazed, Mia, don't you love me anymore? I never loved you, I said softly. His lips went pale. I used to like you. I liked you for many years. My feelings came from my own imagination. I created a version of you I wanted to believe in. That was enough for me. Until recently. Why? He asked, barely audible. Because even now, when I see you, my face still aches. Later, I heard that Leo and Khloe broke up. He changed. He stopped hanging out with his old friends. Every morning, he brought me breakfast. After school, he'd follow me from a distance to make sure I got home safe. It was as if we were back in elementary school, only he was even more attentive now. When I asked him why, he would just look at me with regret and say, I just want to make it up to you. I couldn't drive him away. He was too stubborn. Around that time, my parents' company transferred them to my mother's hometown. I told no one in advance. On a quiet weekend, I sent a few goodbye messages to my closest friends. Leo was the last one to find out.